What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PHDJ Podcast. My name is Mike, and if you're watching this on video, you notice that Joe is out of frame, and we've set that up on purpose because I want you to watch as Joe gets into frame. Go ahead, Joe. There's a drum roll, literally. Look at the hair on this dude. What were you thinking?
I don't know. I didn't tell anybody either.
No, I just saw a picture of it yesterday on Facebook, and then I knew I'd see you this morning.
I don't.
When did you do it?
Yesterday. That's why. It's
by the way, if you're not watching on video, Joe has like Billy Idol bleached blonde hair right now.
That's actually an accurate color.
That's the first thing I thought. I mean, you don't have it like spiky like Idol did in the 80s, but it's got the Billy Idol kind of look to it.
I got to go back in.
Is this the first time you've ever done that?
It was. I was trying to think of the year it was. I think it was 25 years ago I did it.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting for so many hours under one of those old school dryers like your grandmother used to get a perm with.
With the tin foil?
And it burnt my head so bad that I had scabs on my head.
Oh, man.
This only took maybe 30 minutes to go from brown and gray to whatever this color is.
Wow.
It's not quite
it's so funny. Kelly and I had a conversation about this on vacation. She asked me, she goes, did you ever color your hair? And the only time I ever kind of did, I did like the
just for men or whatever.
No, not even that. Just I was younger.
The frosted tips.
Like, the sun in stuff. My hair turned orange, like Donald Trump orange.
Same.
And I washed it out, and I've never done anything since. And I know people think, because I'm about to be 53, they're like, I really honestly do not color my hair. If I did, I would admit to it.
He would admit to it. And I think I've asked him before.
I've been blessed with the hair color is still fairly consistent, but yeah, dude, I like it. It's different. Are you going to keep it for a while?
Here's
or not?
The thing. I think next week when the roots start to grow out, it'll look cool. That's my.
It doesn't look cool now. I give you credit for having the balls to do it.
Well,
the most important question: What does Ainsley think?
Not a fan, but
then you gotta change it. Yeah, I mean that's how it is with scruff for me. Like I like growing in the scruff a little bit, but Kelly hates it, and more importantly, she doesn't want me to kiss her when I got the scruff. So I pretty much can't go near her.
Yeah, you gotta shut that down.
She goes ouch, ouch, ouch. So yeah, I just don't even bother if I want any kind of loving. I stay shaven. So, dude, I think this is the longest we have not spoken in the last 2.5 years. It's been 3 weeks.
That's 100% accurate. That's
right?
100%.
Podcast, so at least once a week we've spoken. So,
and we flipped a couple of texts back and forth, but we have not spoken since that last recording. Right.
So, how have you been?
I've been good, man. Busy shows.
I know. You with the vault, you're going crazy with this.
Ooh,
tell the listeners who aren't in the DJ vault what they could look forward to if they sign up.
Yeah. So if you're not in,
you had the CC down there.
Yes, I did. So first guest instructor came to town Monday, and we shot all day. Bunn CC, if you don't know him, he's literally one of the best.
Anybody doesn't know him at this point.
You should. Brian B, B-Boy Productions.
If you have any interest in traveling the world DJing, Brian's the guy to know.
Yeah.
Follow him, literally follow him around the world.
Be his roadie.
Yeah.
But he came in, we did 2 videos together, and then he did a really long, really good customer service video, and then 2 other videos that should be coming out May 1st, because the first of every month I always put out new content.
Okay, so that's what the Vault members get. That's smart, because that's probably when their renewal is coming up, and then you hit them with content.
So the first day of every month you can always expect new content. So those are being edited now, and those will be out soon. And then tonight, which I guess this won't apply, but even if you're a member, you can see the recording. Tonight we got Jason Clock on the live webinar, like you did for me a few weeks back.
Oh, so the live things that you're doing are open for everyone. So those are just kind of teasers to get people.
They're still members only. They're still.
Oh, they are.
Only.
Okay. All right. Cool. Very cool. So it's still going well.
It's going really well, man.
When I left, you had hit like the $1 million mark, so I'm actually surprised you still need to do this. I'm figuring I'm going to get a call someday from Joe's, not even Joe's people.
His publicist.
He's going to say, yeah, Joe really doesn't have time for you anymore. So, yeah, and then I'll go, can I talk to him? And they'll say, nah, it's not really, no. Yeah, he has to block phone calls.
No,
by the way, while I was away, I got an email. I don't know if you got the same email from Joe Kazuba. Did you get this?
No, I don't think so.
Fine Tune Entertainment in Massachusetts. I wanted to reach out and say thanks to you and Joe for amazing content you are putting out for growing DJ companies. My business partner and myself are currently in the process of expanding, adding more talent to our lineup, and I have been binge listening to the PhD. We love binge listeners. What is it about? I mean, it's nice to people that stay on top of it half hour at a time, but I love people who catch us, who find out about us, and then I can just picture that
trying to get 100 episodes in.
And trying to catch up on the 2 weeks I was gone. So it's the same type of thing. I will certainly be joining Joe's DJ Vault. So there you go. You have another satisfied customer coming up, and buying your DJ training method and book. So thank you, Joe. We always love hearing from listeners. It helps motivate Joe and I to get on this podcast once a week and come up with content.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
So I kind of have two topics I want to discuss.
Hold up. You're not going to recap the European adventure real quick?
European adventure was amazing. Well,
and the DJ conference.
So yeah, I spoke over the Pro Mobile DJ conference in just outside of Birmingham, England, 2 weeks ago. It was phenomenal. That was one of the times you and I were texting. Mm-hmm. You texted me what was, how was it going? Mm-hmm. And I basically said it's armed DJs with totally different accents.
Yeah.
But it's similar vibe. If anyone's been to what Robbie Britton puts together, or probably similar to Midwest Live too, as far as numbers. But to me, it's not just about the numbers. It's about the enthusiasm of the attendees. I think they had 120 some odd attendees at this. Mm-hmm. And the room was set for 120 people, whatever the number was. And there was never an empty seat in any of the seminars, the 2 days. So it was just that kind of enthusiastic vibe running through the whole conference. Everybody was there to learn. Everybody was there to take in the content. It was very unique. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Your show pass included the hotel room.
Oh, okay.
For the night. So the content was Sunday and Monday, and your pass included the hotel room for Sunday night, and as well as a dinner that they put together Sunday night, which was also an award dinner. Mm-hmm. So this way everybody was together Sunday night. We had a nice dinner, and the production value of the award ceremony was pretty good. I mean, they had like video pieces for the nominees. They did, best controller, best upgrade, best music store, things like that. So I thought it was really cool. It was really unique, and I was honored to do two seminars at it, and it was very cool. So first of all, and by the way, I also found out we have a number of listeners over there. So a number of people over in England and the UK and Ireland, tipped their cap to me and said, "Hey, you and Joe are doing a great job." So it's great to hear. We knew we had some Australian and Canadian, but we are, as they say, across the pond.
Yes.
In the UK.
It's really cool, man.
Yeah. So then from there, Kelly and I went up to Liverpool. We spent a day up in Liverpool.
I saw that.
I got to satisfy all my Beatles stuff. We
cravings.
got to see that. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing to see like the childhood homes of Paul McCartney and John Lennon, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, and the actual strawberry fields, which is what John Lennon wrote about, and Penny Lane, which is what McCartney wrote about, and the barber shop on Penny Lane. It was really, anyone who's a Beatles fan, if you want to do the crosswalk photo.
Yeah.
Abbey Road, that's London. So you can take that in London, and that's where they eventually moved to when they got big. But if you want to see the stuff that inspired them in their youth, that's Liverpool, which is a couple hours north of London, and that was phenomenal. And then from there, Kelly and I went on the true part of our vacation. We flew to Amsterdam, which is, I'm sure you saw some of the photos, it doesn't get. Beautiful, beautiful city. Yeah. I've never been to Venice, so I've never been to a city that has canals cutting through it like that. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Cool. I mean, people ask me what we did, and 50% of it, we just walked around because it's such a gorgeous city.
Yeah. I did not spend much time there. I went when I was 21 when I graduated from college, but I didn't spend much time there.
So there with a bunch of dudes?
Yeah, and we got into just the seedy, we were into the seedy part of it. Like,
yeah,
it
It's funny. Kelly and I stumbled on the seedy part. We really hadn't. I mean, just when they were my wife, I'm not there to check out the red light district. But one day, like I said, we're just walking around, and we all of a sudden we go down the side street, and there's women in windows. That's right. Scantily, like, oh, so this because I had heard of the red light district, but I honestly had no idea what it consisted of. Right. But it's literally right there in the middle, literally of the window shopping city.
That's the story, Mike, where I told you.
What, dude?
Hold on. You kind of cut out for a second. Go ahead.
My point was going to be, listen, but whatever your opinion of prostitution is, at least it's legal, or it's not even legal, but it's not illegal, I guess is the way it was explained to me. They kind of tolerate it. Same thing with marijuana. Marijuana is not legal in the Netherlands, but it's not, they don't prosecute it and they don't crack down on it. But at least these women, it can be regulated. These women can be treated fairly, make a livable wage, that type of thing. So anyway, this isn't about prostitution, but that's my opinion about it.
That was the story where I went, so I graduated, and my parents gave me this kind of European, whatever, that's awesome. Euro pass.
I never got to do that, so that's phenomenal.
And I think that was my first stop. Was the plane left RDU, and I went to Amsterdam to meet people that were already
25 years ago.
Yeah.
How old are you?
25. Okay. Yeah.
So was it the same type of thing there? Was marijuana prevalent in the coffee shops? Okay.
Exactly. And the red light district. But my point was that I'll never forget about this is I get on the plane. Oh no, it was Raleigh to London to Amsterdam. And in that plane from London to Amsterdam, I get on the plane, I'm all jet lagged, and I look up and the Ramones are getting on. And they
I think I've ever heard that story.
I don't think you have either. And they were so
cool.
effed up that their manager had all their everything that their wallets, their passports, they weren't even able to function as humans to get on the plane, and going to Amsterdam to make it even worse on their brains.
Right.
I just remember being like, oh my God,
they are pretty distinguishable guys. They were.
I mean, you remember Joey was like 7 feet.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, classic. Anyway.
You didn't get a chance to see them play then?
No. I was just kind of starstruck. I was like, oh my God. And just, with the stupid haircuts and the leather jackets and everything, the Ramones.
Right. I got to see them in the early 80s.
Really?
So, yeah, they played a club in Queens. They used to play a lot in New York City, and they played a club in Queens. I forget the name of it, and I think I was underage, but back then you could sneak into clubs a lot easier than you could now. Sure. And I got to see them, and it's typical. Cool. I mean, I think they played for 35 minutes and they were done.
Right.
And they played every song every song in 35 minutes. Yeah. So the fact that I'm coming back from vacation, this is something you and I talk about a lot at the workshop. But I thought I don't think we've ever talked about it on this podcast. Maybe we've alluded to it. So I am a firm believer in the recuperative traits of a vacation and how important it is to have one on the calendar. So I challenge you, Joe. Do you have your next vacation scheduled and booked?
I do.
Okay, tell us about it. Where are you going?
The infamous fish hook in the next story.
Your annual summer fishing trip, and is that in North Carolina or
Florida, South Florida?
Okay, so you and your family will fly or drive?
Fly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And how long is? And you? I know
actually, that's not true. I'm going to New York next week, taking the kids on spring break.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm coming to New York.
Be in my backyard, dude.
I am. I'll be there Monday. No, I'm sorry. That's not true. I'll be there Tuesday to Friday. It's about all I can handle of New York City.
So we have to reschedule.
Yes, we do.
You don't hate New York. I don't know what that is, dude. Hopefully you have a great experience.
You know what? I'm going in with a more positive mind, and
I've got sound like.
No,
it does not sound. Let's rewind 60 seconds.
Okay,
it did not sound like you.
I'm going in with a more positive attitude.
This is my hometown, Joe. Don't knock it.
I know.
New York.
I'm doing the tourist things. I've got
Are you staying in the city or outside the city?
In.
Okay.
I think it's called something I can't remember, but Bunn CC gave me a place. It's not like a hipster place, but it's in a good location. And
Ainsley, just the boys.
Yeah, all of us. So that's that, and then Florida. Yeah. So yes, I do have stuff on the calendar.
Good. And I asked Joe that, and I asked you, the listener, that too.
Yeah.
I think it's critical to always have your next vacation planned. Kelly and I actually already have our next 2 planned. We're leaving in September for a little bit of a hike on the Appalachian Trail, which we're looking forward to. And then next year is a big birthday for Kelly. I won't say the year. And so she got to pick it, and she wants to go to Scotland, which I'm all for. I'm looking by, I can't wait. We've heard beautiful things about.
When is that? When is that?
That'll be in May of next year, so May of 20. And one of the reasons why it's important in our industry, or anyone in the wedding industry, not just DJs, if you really want to take what I consider a legitimate vacation, you have to block at least 1 weekend off. I for years left on Monday morning and came back on Thursday. And I'm sorry, that's not I know that's what you're doing next week and in New York, and that's a nice little getaway.
Sure.
But that's not a true vacation. To me, a true vacation is 7 to 10 to 14 days. And in order to do that, you have to block at least 1 weekend off.
Totally.
And so that's why we need to plan 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. Like I said, Kelly told me last year, hey, for my birthday, I want to go to Scotland. So I blocked off the end of May. I blocked off 2 weekends, the end of May 2020. And I'm glad I did, because one of the 2 weekends I blocked off, we are already I think we've already got 7 or 8 bookings. So I would have had one of those bookings. So you really, really need to pre-plan in this industry and not just leave it up to, hey, when I get there, I'll take a look if I have a hole in my calendar. Because if you're popular enough, you will not have a hole in your calendar.
You won't have a hole in your calendar. And by then, all the prices for everything are going to be through the roof once you figure out you're open that weekend. It's just, if you tried to, if I said I'm off this weekend and I wanted to go somewhere on a plane, it would cost a fortune.
Right. Last minute, they get you with last minute travel, which is, hey, listen, it's their prerogative. They know you're desperate. They know it's something where they can jack up prices and kind of bang you.
Yep.
So you're right. Yeah. And also, one of the things when Kelly and I determine a location we want to go to, we then do some research as far as what's the best time of year. When we decided we wanted to go to Germany many, many years ago, we looked up and I said, I want to do Oktoberfest. So again, you had to block off. I couldn't leave it to, the hole in my calendar is first weekend of March.
Right.
That might not be seasonally the best time to travel somewhere. So I'm telling you, for business purposes, for peace of mind, for stress release and everything else, having that next vacation on your calendar is critical.
Yeah. Even with my sister, I was like, why don't we, do spring break there? Come go to Montana. They're still getting dumped on with snow, and then it turns.
Oh, I've seen that. Oh my goodness.
Into rain, and she's just like, you do not want to be here, man. This is not spring break material. A month later, May, perfect, but not April.
Yeah, we are going to drop this tomorrow, which will be Thursday, April 11th. Yeah. And based on the forecast, it looks like I was on with John Young the other day.
Right.
They're supposed to get 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
In the second week of April. It's insane.
It's called Winter Storm Wesley or something like that.
Yeah. Crazy. So listen, this is a good segue into the other topic I wanted to talk about, which is, and this is what John and I were discussing the other night. He had me on one of his DJ shows, and that is, when is it time to expand? And John was really focused on when you're turning away X number of jobs, and this is specifically for single ops, but it's really for multi-ops too, on a specific date. And one of the things I wanted to get into the conversation, but I really didn't have an opportunity, is the number of jobs you're turning away is not the only indication that you want that it's time to add another DJ and kind of expand a little bit. You wanting to take some time off is another part of it too.
Yeah.
Until you expand, every single job that your company does is you doing it.
True.
But if you ever want to say, hey, I'd like to have 1 weekend off a month to spend it with my family, my kids, I want to watch some soccer matches, your choice is either turn down jobs then or find somebody else to DJ. You're not making as much money as if you did it yourself, but at least your company isn't just shut down for a weekend. So I think that kind of goes to the whole vacation thing. Elite Entertainment did, I think 40 jobs in the 2 weekends while I was gone.
Yeah.
And we booked, because I've got phenomenal salespeople in the office, I think we booked like 30 odd upcoming jobs. So that's the advantage of having some kind of infrastructure and staff. And so I just wanted to speak on that. What is your opinion about if there's a single op out there who's saying, hey, is it time for me to bring in that first guy or, whatever?
Yeah.
Do you have any other indicators that you can?
I mean, really the two things that you touched on, Mike, are the things that I've touched on, whether it's writing articles or creating content for the vault or whatever. I mean, number one, first and foremost, the worst call to take is the call, where they've heard about you or seen you and you're booked on October 12th. And they're still going to get married on October 12th. And you realize now they're going to go to possibly a company that's not going to do nearly the job that you are. Mm-hmm. So, again, I think that's why both you and I, started adding people from the early days. And secondly, and again, I've talked about this, multiple articles and videos I've talked about, is the burnout factor. I mean, at the end of the day, it's you guys, which is always a little bit surprising to me, up there do so many Fridays and Sundays. Down here, it's pretty rare unless it's Memorial Day.
Friday, I don't mean to cut you off, but Fridays, yes, not as many Sundays.
Okay.
Sundays are a little bit rare in our business model anyway. Okay. But Fridays, no doubt, we are. It's
unreal to me. Like we just if we did Friday, it would be like the rehearsal dinner party.
No, we do a lot of weddings on Fridays, and actually Thursdays are becoming more and more popular. I've got a few Thursday bookings this year. We've got a few in the company that I'm not doing. So yeah, Thursday bookings are Thursday. And when I say bookings, I mean weddings. We have a couple of banquet halls that are extremely popular and in demand here. And when a client walks in, like let's say a client walked in now and wanted to get married in June of next year. Mm-hmm. Some of these banquet halls might have no weekend dates available in June of 2020. Mm-hmm. And so the bride will say, and they'll say to her, do you want to take a Thursday night? Mm-hmm. We'll give you a little bit of a discount. And so we get a decent number of Thursday bookings that way.
And then I think that to me, Mike, what is so critical and so crucial is just taking time off. You know what I mean? Like I said, you don't want to work all 52 Saturdays plus the Fridays and the Sundays. Like if you can, get a right-hand man. They can take off some of the stuff admin-wise like Randy does for me, or you get some DJs that just are able to work weekends that you are on vacation. Mm-hmm. That to me, like I'm always like, that's the American dream, man. You're making money, and especially in your case, you live at the beach. Like, I mean, you can potentially be sitting on the beach on a Saturday with 12, 15 guys out there making tens of thousands of dollars. Right. And that's the kind of business that I want people to be able to build. I respect the single ops. I, never tell people to make the leap unless they're ready to. But to me, your job security and your longevity in this business relies on other DJs working for your company.
Yeah, and when you say ready to, I think a big part of being ready to is wanting to. You can listen to people like Joe and I and John Young till the cows come home about the advantages of doing it and how to do it and all but if you don't want to, and I just had dinner last night with my friend Marcello, who everybody knows in the industry. Sure. Marcello's never gone multi-op. And it's mainly because he never wanted to. He never wanted to deal with the headaches and the hangups and everything else. And I totally respect that. You and I can both speak to the fact that there are going to be struggles along the way. There are going to be times where you bang your head against a wall and say, why did I do this? Sure. So if your why isn't powerful enough to make you hold on, then you're just going to quit the first time you stub your toe anyway. Yeah. So the big part of being ready is just psychologically, is this something I really, really, really want to do?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it takes time. You're probably going to have to work your full-time job and do this for a while to get it going to where you feel financially stable enough to go full-time multi-op. I mean, but I think now, unlike when Mike and I were coming up, there are so many resources. Not to toot our horn, but this podcast is an amazing resource from episode 1 to present. The DJ's Vault. John Young has content for days on Disc Jockey
Ridiculous News. Content. Yeah.
Digital DJ tips. I mean, YouTube. I could go on and on and on. Mobile Beat. ARM DJs, Midwest DJs Live, Wedding MBA. I mean, there are so many ways now that weren't around when Mike and I were younger to learn about running a DJ company, which even back when Mike and I were coming up, I mean, it was almost unheard of to build a company or to make a living as a mobile DJ. Still, people question. I guarantee Mike gets questioned about it, or you know, when I mention it and people don't know who I am, they're like, "That's a thing," and I'm like, yeah,
"God, it's so funny you say that." I'm reading. My sister gave me a book about chefs.
Yeah,
and I didn't. It's called. First of all, the title is great: "Chefs, Drugs, and Rock and Roll."
I love it.
And I didn't realize how it's not very recent, but not until the 70s that chefs kind of became rock stars.
Right.
Similar to our industry a decade or so later. You know, prior to that, it was the maitre d' in the restaurant who was the face of the restaurant, everything else, and the chef was the guy behind the swinging doors, and you never heard his name. And Wolfgang Puck, you know, pretty much one of the most famous chefs of all time, tells a story where when he was first getting started in Los Angeles, he was out at a nightclub and he was dancing with a woman, and she said to him, "What do you do for a living?" And he said, I'm a chef, I cook. And she walked away from him. So that's how their industry has gone from, you know, absolutely no respect whatsoever to now being pretty much, you know, stars of TV shows and books and everything else. And I think our industry, not quite as much, but yeah, I mean, the resources are there in abundance, as Joe pointed out.
But again, and again, I think the whole, you know, the whole EDM scene and the producer as a DJ thing really helped us as well. Your Calvin Harris, your Dead Mouse, your Marshmello, you know, that people are like, "Oh, those are DJs and you guys are DJs. That's the same thing." Well, of course it's not. I mean, Mike and I are playing for 200 people at the blah, blah, blah ballroom, and they're playing for 25,000 at Miami Ultra. But it has helped. You know, the DJ is the rock star now, and
it's definitely put some spotlight on what we do,
100%.
Which also adds to the pressure because people are more aware of what we're doing. I talked about this in
You're supposed to be
my
good,
seminar, about mixing. People understand. I don't think 25, 30 years ago people knew what a good or a bad beat mix was.
Hell no.
Nowadays, what's your term that I love so much?
Shoes in a dryer.
Yeah. You know, you throw a mix that sounds like that, you're going to get people turning around and looking at you like, "Dude, that's not what I heard in the nightclub last weekend." So it does kind of ratchet up the pressure. Absolutely. All right, I think we're around the halfway mark, and it should be wrapping. So Joe, great to speak to you. We're gonna have to figure out what we do next week if you're up in New York. Although I guess we could get together face to face, but that logistically, I'm sure your family's not going to appreciate that.
Maybe we could do it Monday. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
Record one. Sounds good.
Cool, guys. Thanks for listening. We will see y'all. We're back on schedule. Anyway, weekly.
Bye, Blondie.
Later.